What's up, everybody? We're doing some construction outside. We got some workers around me. You might hear some background noise. If anything, you'll probably be hearing me more. It echoes in here. But yeah, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'm gonna speak on a matter. I'm making it a matter, and not just for me. I think I'm in the corrective action of doing this. It's not something you gotta. It took me like 10 minutes at most to write this up, but we let too much of this slide. We can even compare it to other things, but specifically here, I've been doing surveys lately, you know what I'm saying? Just for a little span of time. And that's not entirely what this is about, actually. Now, I made a video, that's what I did. I made this video because I was supposed to make this live yesterday, so now it's like, the time frames are much more wider than I wanted it, but it's okay. I made a video towards like, in the back of my mind, I already know that this influencer is like way too big anyway. But I'm not gonna say anything negative about, he might not see it. I want this individual, I want this influencer, his business team, I definitely want them to see that video. And I didn't upload the video yet, so I was about to say I was gonna have to make a note. I didn't upload the video yet. So right after this live stream, make sure to check that video out. That is directed towards Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast. And I'm not gonna basically say everything I said in that video, so just make sure to check that video out. But yes, there was an app I put. Now, man, when it comes to the gimmicks, when it comes to the little glitches, and when it comes to like the gotcha, you know what I'm saying? You gotta be quicker than that, when it comes to things like that, I already know not to even like get in that. So very rarely do I get gotcha, you know what I'm saying? But this time, I actually felt it through my body where I was like, did I just get gotcha? You know what I'm saying? I even have a thing written here called the Duped meter. Yeah, you got duped. That's the word here, you got duped, okay? So, I can't really see, because like I said before in the last slide, I got the camera flipped on the other way and stuff like that. So, I'm gonna make, for those of you who touch in, make sure to really see what this is about in terms of subject matter. I'm going to be speaking on these apps, how you're advertised and you're promised, and I'm telling you, man, very convincing. I don't want to get off topic here, but Mr. Beast, that influencer, is very convincing. It's the way they come up with their advertising, the way and how they do it so fast, but then again, it's a team. Anyone can do it. You put your heads together, come up with something, but we let them get away with it too much when they don't. Promise and deliver on what it is that they offer. Okay. And what's so crazy about that advertising too is that they're over here like, I know you guys are tired of scams. I know you're tired of fraud. I know you're tired of downloading these apps and playing for hours and you don't get paid. Welcome to this, and you get money right away. And dude, for the amount of times over years that we've seen those, I always knew to not even go as far as download the next app you gotta download in order to get the gift card. Now you gotta click on this link to your email, and it leads to all this like malware crazy stuff. when it comes to computers and technology enough, man, I've never been like huge into like gaming or like working hard on the gigabytes and really filling up the hard drives and stuff like that. I was just a simple person, download music, photos, some vids here and there, but I never really downloaded anything besides like music and stuff like that. So it's a little aggravating like just seeing that happen because you're simply just playing survey apps. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this, all right, let's get into this. And like I said before, once I'm done with this, I'll check in on, if anyone left any comments, let me know if you played it, because this is definitely, and shout out to those of you who are supporters, but this is definitely more so not only that, but for those of you, I hope the real ones like catch this. You'll catch it on the video. Make sure to watch that video. Who downloaded this Mr. Beast Crystal Vault slot app, and ooh, he got me, man. Let me not say it because if we put in an effort, if I can get any of you who played that game and you did not get your winnings and you make a vid just like this, just have the courage to make a vid, he may compensate, and you know what I'm saying? All it takes is an effort. I remember when the whole thing, I don't like saying names, that's gonna be the 5th time I use put an actual person's name in the title. It's like I'm starting to make that like a milestone. Always became an unintentional milestone. But I believe it's the correct thing to do. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to lead the way. And I haven't seen anyone. We saw responses on Reddit. Reddit is where I saw everyone disappointed. Like, well, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Beast promised that we would get this. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get it and stuff. They didn't let it fly with his Logan Paul with the NFTs or whatever a year ago. But like I said, I don't like putting in people's names and stuff like that, because I said in the video and I'll say it again, these are still people at the end of the day. No matter how successful you are, how many people you know, I'm not just going to go right away and be like, oh, that's getting I got a fraud. If he can correct the situation, if we can make corrective action, compensate the people who played it, because I heard it was a developer app, so we were like the first ones to play it. The reviews went no further than 4 months, I think 6 months. Let's get into it, So forcing accountability on getting duped with survey app reward scams, money game fraud, and cash ad swindles, man. You can always tell just by the way, like, they have their font with the ads. Like, really, really notice, like, the real ones, the font looks like the actual Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Zelle font. When it's like an actual scam, like the ones where they're still probably getting like the boomers and stuff. I'm just kidding, but I've seen it in person too many times. Hey man, look at this! Look at this! And they'll be all excited and showing me, because I've spent a fair share of my last 5 years with individuals well over the age of like 40. You know what I'm saying? So it's so funny watching them like get so excited and you can win this, and she needs a whole new phone every 2 months because she keeps clicking on these links, thinking she's gonna get like a $15 gift card or whatever, and and all that malware, just all the weird things that come on your phone, all because of that, and they're getting paid the more you pay attention to it. It's really about that, So it's a lot that goes into this, because I was about to say you wouldn't see me make a vid like this, but I haven't gotten done like that. Like, I actually got duped, you know what I'm saying? So we got the dupe-o-meter, all right? You got duped, okay? That's number 1, all right? So that's like a beginner, and you got duped, all right? So you got duped, but it ain't like bad. Let me name them all down, and I'll break down what they each mean. Then you really got duped. Okay? So that's number 2. You really got duped. Okay? So obviously that's worse than you got duped, so you probably spent like a little more time on it than you should have. You were probably expecting a winning. You really got duped, Because you really thought you were gonna win, alright? Then you got extreme dupage alert, alright? That's number 3, yo. So extreme dupage alert. You probably spent 9 hours on that app. That's kind of, we're gonna get into it. I made a bit, you know? Let me not speak all of it, but, and then you got the last one. The damn dude got duped like a motherfucker. Okay? So you got duped like a motherfucker. Okay? So you probably spent money to play the app. Because you were promised the winnings in the end. And let me tell you what they do, yo. This shit is so wild how they do it, bro. We gotta hold these people accountable because it ain't right, bro. They got the money to pay the people back who were promised an award and they didn't get it because it's wrong. It's wrong. I actually thought I was gonna win. I don't know why I'm like laughing because it ain't funny or smiling, but it was wrong, yo. It was wrong. We'll get into the apps and everything. Like I said before, if I can't see if anyone or whoever's watching right now, I'll get to all the comments later. I just kind of want to touch base on all this, get it all out, and then if any of you are still here at the end, we can speak for a bit. Maybe you got some apps that work for you. I got a couple that work. A couple that they stand on what they say they'll do. You take some surveys. They got a good variety. Actually, it's not the same repetitive survey. And if you download a bunch of these apps, you will see the same survey, so that's not something to complain about. But if you're using the same app and they keep recycling the same survey, man, that's going to do some brain damage stuff to you. You know what I'm saying? So I found that out real fast. If you're like in a situation, you know what I'm saying, or better yet, you need to replace your time that you waste with something that can actually at least make you some sense, if you will. Don't count on it to be something that's gonna, like, oh my gosh, like $30 a day or whatever. But the good ones, realistically, you should be able to make like, I don't know, you should be able to make at least like $3 in an hour. That's realistic. You should be able to make $3, $3.50. If it's a really good app, maybe even $4 in an hour, and then I know it's, if there is an app that does do that, but I say $3, But let's talk about, how we can get duped and everything, all right, before we get into that. You got duped. Man, it's, getting duped means like you aren't even promised. At least these apps will pay you. They'll advertise, because you're forced to watch these advertisements on the apps that will pay you. Okay, so that's a downside of that already. They recycle through the same advertising. It's in brain, you don't want to do that, repetitively over and over, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just doing the same thing over and over, Unless, you developers obviously will come up with better things, I wouldn't be shocked if, someone, plucked something from this and make something a little more creative, than what we've been seeing. But basically, they're just getting paid and stuff like that, So you got duped, all right? Basically, there was probably something that showed you right away. You probably went as far as click on the link, so they got you already, right? They got you. Even if you spent like 10 seconds, you still click on the link. You knew you should have clicked on that link, all right? You knew that it was going to pay you, that shit was a scam. Shit was a hoax, right? This shit ain't right, bro. It ain't right. They be making good money. They be making good money doing that to people, bro. And if you don't catch on, man, you're going to be over here thinking, you might even really get done dirty, like on them slot games. And you actually thinking that the money that's coming in is actually the money. You know what I'm saying? And you're over here wondering, well, where'd my money go? It takes some people a while to catch on that. No, so just pay attention, man. That way you ain't have to buy a new phone every 3 months just because of apps. Now, if you really got duped, and honestly, I know I got 4, and you could only really pick one. But with this Mr. Beast app, and I'm sorry I'm taking such a long time to get to the point, but it's I really believe that the right thing will be done. Yes, I believe that he's gonna compensate everybody who played his game. Crystal ball slot, he was convincing in that advertisement. He was convincing in that advertisement. I'm telling you, that's the first time where I was like, I think, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't believe it, I've seen so many advertisements. I was like, hell no, man, you already know this shit's that shit ain't gonna be popping like that. That shit's a scam, all right? But Mr. Beast, I counted on it. I'm still counting on it, all right? So we're not fully saying that what happened was extremely duped alert, all right? Extreme duped alert. Man, let me tell you what happened, all right? Let me just tell you real quick. I downloaded this app, right? Because it was one of these games, and this dude was sounding real convincing. These influencers, for those who don't know, he's a YouTuber. I'm pretty sure a lot of you gotta know who Mr. Beast is. I never really watched any of this stuff. Definitely aware of him just because of the different people he's worked with. So you've seen a lot of features. But as far as not actually knowing him as a person, it seems like a very positive dude, very deserves to be in the position he's at, very innovative, creative, and I respect that. I can respect someone who comes up with their own stuff. He doesn't copy. He's an actual influencer. He initiates his own stuff. Hey, I gotta respect it at the end of the day. In terms of personal life and politics and all that other stuff that comes with it, I never really judge people from that angle, especially on here. But what we're judging from is what happened is I downloaded Mr. Beast. Okay, man. This dude was convincing with his team, all right? He's been doing crypto on the side and stuff. He has a lot of apps out, and now it makes sense, all right? But we'll see, all right? I don't want to speak bad, but so far we're in between the really got duped and extreme dupage alerts, all right? Because man, let me tell you what. I'm playing this game and it's fun, you know what I'm saying? And it is one of those things where it's like, is it too good to be true? Because like I said in the video, make sure to watch that video. It ain't even like on Sunset Dope stuff, all right? It ain't chess, all right? It ain't checkers, all right? It ain't even checkers, all right? All you gotta do, y'all know how them games go, y'all know how them slot games go, all right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how them go, all right? So it's gonna look good, and this man, you gotta reach a certain threshold. And man, the cash out limit, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, And I know in that vid I said don't download it, but for those of you who are even checking this out right now, download it. Download this games. Do it while you can, because I'm actually gonna put pressure on this. Not for real, because I feel like I got extreme dupage alert, alright? Extreme dupage alert from Mr. Beast. Alright, but it's an alert, alright? It ain't down, dude. Duped like a motherfucker, yeah, at least it ain't that one, right? Because I didn't pay money. That's the only reason I didn't pick that one, is I didn't spend money. I didn't put Google Play earnings that I accidentally sent to Google Play that was supposed to go to PayPal. So you were forced to use that. You know what I'm saying? So I can answer that on surveys now. I was like, oh, dude, have you ever paid to play an app? I was like, yes, I have actually. It was on accident. But anyway, the game's going good. Real entertaining game when you think they're gonna win money and stuff like that. Like I said, his advertising real convincing, man. I noticed over time, and I got scared. There's a backstory because before his game was a down dude, got through like a motherfucker, and I played it for a little, so it wasn't all the way that. Because I found out right away. Nah, hold on a sec. Y'all aren't even gonna let people reach their thresholds. That's how they get y'all. Alright? So for those of you who are coming in and out of the live right now, we're speaking on force and accountability on getting duped on these survey app reward scams, these money game fraud and cash advertising swindles. Because remember, the starting point's the advertising. They really got me, man. That's the first time ever. Mr. Beast is good at it. He's good. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. Aside from this. Yeah? But what I'm doing in that video, and the reason I need to make sure that whoever played Mr. Beast's game, you need to share that video. Because we can get compensated back. I'm for That Mr. Beast, you raw mixed actual cash earnings, okay? But let me not get too far ahead and stuff like that. And it's all good, you know what I'm saying? Because I truly believe he's gonna do the right thing for everybody who, you know what I'm saying? Because as far as I'm concerned, I just saw like Reddit posts and stuff like that. But when you put that much time in it, man, you're gonna get closer and closer. The earnings are gonna get less and less. And you're already thinking to yourself, that's impossible. How you can't go from like $20 to 10 to 5, like not even a casino does that. And now it's not even a penny, now it's a point. I kid you not. I kid you not. That's when I quit. 0.001. Okay, that's not a penny. 0.01 is a penny. 0.0001. And then they added more zeros and you're like, hell no. Hell no. You know what I'm saying? So that app was a scratch, okay? And that was the app where they were advertising Mr. Beast. So I was kind of, you know what I'm saying? But Mr. Beast was, convincing. Got me, man, because I feel like, you know what I'm saying? You got Duped, right? It's Duped alert. But it's not the fourth one, because guess what? We finished Mr. Beast's game, actually. I'm for real. And I'm not exaggerating. I think, because, listen, man, these are these games where you're supposed to be playing it non-stop and stuff like that. But man, $1,000? Oh yeah, I went off. Especially with the rate in the beginning. I was gonna keep playing until I made 1,000. Finally made it. I was like, ooh. You know what I'm saying? I didn't grin, but my heart grinned. That's the way I work, you know what I'm saying? I'm for real, that's the way I work. There's some times where I'll be grinning, but it's really nothing to grin. And internally, you're actually kind of like scared or whatever. But it was in reverse this time, where I was looking scared, but my heart was grinning because I thought I was going to get that money, dude. I really did. So I finally reached the winnings, man. But to keep knowing that's an important key that you guys got to see that where they get you. For the ones that don't pay, that other one was not going to pay. It was going to keep doing 0.00000179. I kid you not. To add up to 1 cent, and you were at 92 cents, you had the threshold was like 500, and I was at 493 to 500, and now the rest of it, 5 years. If you take 10 years to cash out that $500. So they delivered on the promise. That's messed up, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's messed up. Now, Mr. Beast, he was cooler about it. He was obviously cooler about it. You know, he didn't go that far with it. And and I was persistent because during that very end, it was starting to reach the penny and the .01 and stuff like that. But we made it through. We made it through, right? Whew. And heart grinned a bit. And so now, you're going to cash out to that PayPal, all right? Now I'm going to tell you, and I'm over here thinking I'm going to, my heart grinning, it kind of fat and beating good and stuff. It's going to tell me, you got to wait 48 hours. They gotta check and make sure that you're a real person, and they gotta do security and all this to make sure that you can cash out that $1,000. And at first I was like, okay, it's 1,000, but now we think it's small here. We got people who are, cashing. I'm not a baller or like that, where you're sending 5,000, 10,000, 25,000 PayPals, back and forth consistently. But there are people out there, so I figured, 25,000 and 15,000 would be like a 48-hour game, but not 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, now the heart, when that happened, the heart dropped at like a 65%. I was like, there better not be something funny after this 48-hour thing. Because I was expecting that money right away, and now plans, you were thinking ahead, and now plans ain't, recording and stuff like that. Now it's going to be over here talking about there's 9,500 people in front of you waiting in line to cash out the PayPal. Bro, there's no such thing as that. Huh? Maybe there is, okay, because that's what I saw. But then this is where all of us who are about to play that game, or better yet, we played it, okay? Because I'm pretty sure you wouldn't tolerate, you know what I'm saying, especially coming from me, and then you're just someone who went out of your way. But nah, you go ahead, because they stood on what they were saying, okay? And all grins aside, all jokes aside, and you know, because I want to be lighthearted about it, you know, it ain't right. It ain't right. That's all. It ain't right. It's not one of those things like, oh, you scammed me, that's right. But we ain't gotta get mad about it, because you know that's gonna lead to tension, and then tension puts us into tension. You know what I'm saying? And now we're in a situation where it's like you can't even make a certain like communicative gesture to even have this individual to even like some percentage of you to even compensate you anyway. So yes, I'm trying to be on better yet his team. Come on, it's Mr. Beast. You know what I'm saying? Me, how funny is that? I know y'all trolls over there. I'm just kidding. You know, let me not manifest that right now. Let me think that if anyone is watching, there's just people who are actually into this or whatever, or better yet experiencing this. But just check the video out. You know, if you ain't got time to hear me blabber right now, I'm just in blabber mode right now. Because I think this is important, you know, just let people run over you and stuff like that. You got duped, you know what I'm saying? 9 hours, that's a long time, bro. 9 hours putting in an effort for something you were expecting. You're expecting it, yes. You got duped, all right? You got duped, all right? You got duped. See? With these survey apps and stuff like that, like, you know, Survey Junkie and Branded Survey, and we're gonna get into those too. People be talking about, oh, this is a scam. You don't go that far. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go that far and say that. You know, I do have those two on here on the not good list though. You know, despite finally getting my first Survey Junkie cash out. That's the first one I downloaded though. So you got a question. You know what I'm saying? You 75% through the survey, man, and it's gonna boot you out. Just out of the blue. You 50% through the survey on Survey Junkie. That one got downloaded the first. Why? Man, it's the most popular one. I think that's the one that comes in people's mind. You know, when you download the survey app, that's like the first one that pops up, or the one that has the most downloads, I think. You know, but we'll get into that. But man, it ain't right. But it ain't a scam though with those. At least they pay you, okay? It could be like, you know, I think these words, you gotta get deeper into depths and stuff like that. Yeah, like, yeah, hoax and scam is like the same thing. You know, duped. You know, you might put that with scam, duped and scam, you know, fraud and stuff like that, or you know, swindled and stuff like that. Swindled is kind of in the middle. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, you got duped, you know what I'm saying? Because it took a little longer to get that paid, but at least you got paid. So swindled is better than duped. You know, you get duped, you really get nothing, you know what I'm saying? You really got duped. Extreme dupage alert. But down dude got duped like a motherfucker. That's not good. That's when you didn't even get your earnings, and you spent money thinking you were going to get earnings. Luckily that had happened with Mr. B. So we're on like the, you know, when it comes to like the this is not good list, we're at like a 6.5 out of 7 because you know, personality has a lot to do advertising, personality, you know, the entertainment side of it, the capture or attention side of it. Man, that's a starting point. That has everything to do with it. Mr. Beast seems like a real, genuine person. So I'm not gonna get into what it is that, you know, but it's plain and simple. It's just standalone this video. We asking for that conversation. That's what the vid's about. So I need to make sure that I hit this share. That's our first vid I would share on my social media, is that Mr. Beast vid. I want his team to see that video. I want those of you who downloaded any of his games. It ain't even gotta be the Crystal Ball slot one. That's the one I play. Okay, it was really entertaining. Yeah, fun. When you think you're gonna win. Okay, but I don't like to. When it comes to knowing, winning or losing, there's really no such thing as thinking. No, it's something's gonna happen. You don't have to think it's like something's gonna happen. You're expecting. You don't have to think about what you're going to expect because you're expecting it. So you know. It's not. You don't have to think about it. You know, Mr. Beast, you let us all know we were going to get cash. Bruh, we got a bunch of unhappy reviewers here with their apps claiming that not one person said they got paid, man. And this is an early stage, so obviously no one has took the courage or the step forward to bring awareness about this, and they just allowed it because we're all busy. I'd say 9 out of 10 of those people probably struggling with money right now. That's why they're doing that app. That's why they even looked you up. That's why they even found that advertisement. It's a chain reaction. It's a pyramid scheme. I see it. You know what I'm saying? You were just really convinced, and I kid you not. I believe we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. I think you're a genuine person. You're gonna do this right. You are the leader of Gen Z. Literally, I think you're gonna set the right example. I really do. Okay. So let's get to the issues and problems and concerns with the money-making apps and the surveys. But I hope I kind of touch base on the Dupeometer, all right? Because I'm not gonna say if we don't, that's not gonna happen. I really believe he's gonna do the right thing. I'm for real. I'm not gonna say nothing negative. And better yet, the main thing after this is definitely get our earnings. We put in time. Those of you can't. Listen. I know things I said before, which I got important things to talk about. So this live right here is like, you know, I got in terms of my content, I guess I could kind of thank Mr. Beast because this is more light. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to talk about a bunch of personal, serious stuff right now, which we will be doing, but you know, so I get to relax, but not really because we still got to put in an effort, and I still got to come across as a likable person. You know what I'm saying? To believe that Mr. Beast's team will care about this, they will do the right thing. I believe I even said, man, y'all even do 10%, but I really think the right thing is to compensate the guaranteed, and those who put in the actual work. Not those who gave up, not those who didn't finish, those who finished. Those who went 100% in. I went 100% in, 9 hours straight, because you're not thousand in. Last time I checked the waiting list, I'm like 8,000 to 300 in line or something like that. So we'll see what happens after you're in line, but I don't think we're going to make it that far. I think they'll take care of us because we can't already know what happens when we get that far. So when it comes to customer service too, AI is really doing a good job of cloaking accountability and just letting you talk to some freaking robot who doesn't want the actual person behind the system to take accountability. That's all this is, you know? This is all about taking accountability. And this is 100% justified. I know. You know, I can see some people, you know what I'm saying? There was a channel called CoffeeZilla. He's the one who called out his buddy. And that channel's clutch. I should have watched a little bit of him before I said some stuff, you know, to make it more entertaining. No, shout out, he's a big YouTuber too. Shout out to even him and those who do stuff like that and just call out things that aren't being called out, you know? No, 100%. I know a lot of you think this is funny, or like, dude, are you like, what are you doing? Are you really putting in the effort for this? Yeah. 9 hours, man, you didn't get nothing. Hell no, man. I'm shocked no one's made a bit about this. I'm shocked no one has been like, dude, it's like embarrassing. That's what I'm saying. Extreme dupage alert. Long story short, I want to see if any of you all here so I can interact with somebody. So let me get this going here. But yeah, man, you know, he is he's smart, man, because I see that little tactic they do to reel you in and to get you to pay attention. The more you pay attention to it, the more money they make. And then in the end, you're gonna get so close and you get further though. The earnings getting further. It was crazy. I was like, bruh. I actually said, no, that's what I said, but I was like, bruh. Hell no. You know, and luckily that one was only like, I don't know, man, that's like extremely I think I was a good 40 minutes in until I was finally like, oh, hell no, this shit, you know what I'm saying? And then I kept on seeing the Mr. Beast one, and he was, man, nah, man, Mr. Beast, you don't do Duped alerts, you don't do a dupe like a motherfucker, you don't do that stuff like that. He's gonna get us right, okay? So we can stop touching base on that, but yeah, hopefully y'all got something out of that part. That's getting duped, okay? That's a scam. These apps that say that they're gonna pay you actual money, look at the font, bro. Like the font looks like that fake, like, y'all know how, like in real life, like for real, I be going through actual grown adults trolling, and as far as fake paperwork, AI paperwork, and sending shit in the mail, I kid you not, I've run through so much stuff. But I saw through it right away. It's like, oh, this is a fake. This is a fake IRS letter. This is a fake jury duty letter. This is a fake debt collector letter. Some of those are fake, and you can see the real ones. You know what I mean? It's like the font in the advertising. Look at the font, Mr. Beast. It's almost like AI won't let you get away with cheating sometimes. And AI already existed before the AI we're speaking about right now, so that previous AI actually has that limit where it's like, we know this is a scam. Okay, do your scam, but you have to have this fake ass font though. So the green is gonna look a little like lighter, and the texture will look, when you be editing the photos on Instagram, you can have all the edit features, yeah, and the graphic of it looks. It's a phony graphics. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can see it in the green, especially with the Cash App and the blue with the Venmo, the PayPal, and Venmo. So yeah, you can tell right away. They got their coins all flying at you. Oh my god! And it's the same person. You got to see the same ad with the same person. Oh my god! This ad is good. Shut up. Luckily, it's like, man, you get upset. You scream at the phone. You know what I'm saying? She's a good-looking person too. They picked a real good-looking woman for the advertising, and then after a while, you're like, I'm tired of seeing your face. I don't want to see you anymore. I don't want to see this advertisement. I think it's great for me. I know I've been rambling, but that's part of what these lives are, Let me try to make this fast because I know we got workers out there. So issues, problems, and concerns with these surveys, man, and these money-winning game apps. Okay. So this is not only for my self-centered one and my, it was definitely a priority, but it's also to bring awareness to those of you, and I'm hoping some of you even, stop by, check in, and let me know some of your good, let me know some of your apps. This is definitely for those of you who do surveys, for those of you who do apps, money game winning apps. I know they got some secrets out there. There was a woman on TikTok, I accidentally came across her video. She shared two I had no clue about. I just downloaded them, ain't tried them yet, so I can't just have a list already. So number one is what I wrote down with Survey Junkie. They're gonna kick you out 50 when you, my fault. They're gonna kick you out when you're 50%, 75% good with the survey. Bro, and talk about, oh yeah, you ain't a good fit. Not everything can be perfect. Not everything can be perfect. But this is coming from apps like Survey Junkie and Brandon Survey. Survey Junkie, lately you've been giving me some reviews, but I'm kind of disappointed in y'all. I hope y'all step it up, with the repetitive surveys and stuff like that, because even these new ones are a little more, I don't know, they're just more variety, more flavor, more like popping, you know what I'm saying? So even, but with respect to Survey Junkie, they were one of the first ones to, start the way. Branded surveys, y'all be booting my ass out too, okay? Apps, crazy filled with ads. And they got the nerve to be the apps that don't pay you no money, that were lying. They lying, bro. They lying in their advertisements, making you pay attention, saying that you're gonna win, really reeling you. I'm talking about the hardest reeling I've ever seen, harder than a person in real life that's ever reeled you in. Harder than a catfish, I kid you not, man. That made real. His advertising was so good, it was better Well, I've never been catfished, but I mean, better than someone who's ever been like catfished and convincing with fake photos and stuff. I just couldn't believe it, man. Number 3, recycle same survey. Over time, your brain is not calculating anything new. I've seen many of you speak on how you got to program your own mind in this world. Yes, I'm one of those people. Ever since I was younger, I programmed my own mind. What do I mean by that? You are programmed to listen to what's on the radio. You were programmed to listen to what's on the podcast. You go along with it because you're defaulted into it. You listen to the radio. You're defaulted into the apps that they give you and stuff like that. Not me. I got my whole way of doing that. So old school MP3. I'll check an album out. I'll type in on Google artist similar to this artist, and stuff like that. I was real hipster, indie, underground, and then you go to the top. So I did it in reverse. I didn't go mainstream to let me go out of my way to be a music hipster. Let me go out of my way to be an indie and do it on behalf of another person. Real music hipsters know what I'm talking about. You looked into stuff. You probably had a band in your local town and city, and then you built it from there and stuff like that. You actually go to little cafe shows. I miss doing that. Yeah, sorry, I ramble, out of context, obviously. Number 4, scam, bro. You can't even catch it out. Number 5, hoax. Like I just said, the hoax, the winnings get closer. The winnings get less. The closer you get to the board, they start doing .009. I was like, hell no. I shook my head like, you gotta be kidding me, bro. Y'all do people dirty. They need to do because you know how they be trying to make us paranoid with how they be saying they be looking at people through cameras and stuff like that. Better than me, But yeah, they gotta do a compilation. Yeah, no, for real. Compensate us our earnings, and then you can release the compilation of all of us and our faces when we saw that point there. Man, we be laughing super hard, man. The loop cycle scam. Okay, so this is gonna be the one that also it can go with the actual legit apps and still with the same scam apps, hoax. Damn, dude, you got to do like a motherfucker. They're gonna loop cycle you. So they're gonna tell you, oh, you can get this gift card or whatever. And don't get me wrong, in the actual app, yes, you can actually win e-gifts. They're legit. Don't ever click on these advertisements when you click on the advertisement. Man, just do the research yourself, because now you ended up like what's her name? You know what I'm saying? Who was trying to showboat to me, and look what I can win. I said, didn't win nothing, and in fact, lost money because you had to buy a whole new phone with all that malware you got from clicking on the links and then leading you to another app, Now you're wondering why your phone ain't got no storage. Come on, man. Easy fix it, kinda, sometimes, maybe not. But yeah, they be selling a dream that ain't true, yo. And they go hard in the advertising. They make so much money off that. They make sure it look really good in the advertising and stuff. But Mr. Beast was good at it. I'm giving you props, man, because I know you're looking the right thing, and because you were just so away from the pack. Like yours did not sound like a hoax at all. The others you could easily tell. Time consuming, man. That shit will put a strain on your eyes. You know, replacing, you know what I'm saying, good things, different things going on. But yeah, that can put a strain on your eyes and stuff like that, man. You don't keep on looking at this. Man, it's true, just prepare yourself for that. You know what I'm saying? Realistically, for real, you should be able to garner 95 cents in 20 minutes. That's lowballing it too. You should be able to garner $1.25 every 20 minutes. You should be able to have $3 at the end of an hour. And then, if the survey want to start doing, this ain't a good fit for you. You know the survey got to recycle. Come on, man. You down bad if you relying on a single survey to pay your meal for the day. You know what I'm saying? So, but Real talk, you know what I'm saying? And I can't wait to see if anyone's even gotten into accidents, right? But now if you want a multitasking service, especially if you get on a computer, hey man, you can bring in $20. If you're a real lazy person, you want to be done, you bring in $20 a day. Realistically, you should be able to. I haven't tried that yet though. Okay, so let's get more detail into it about the things you can expect, like the cash out limit for the ones that do pay, as y'all know. Yeah, some of them gonna have a cash out limit. I know one that's good that I got here is actually I didn't have it written down. Let me get something. Oh no, I do. Cash Kick. So there's an app called Cash Kick. Obviously I haven't even had it up for a week yet, but I've done some things on it for 2 days, and so far it's looking pretty good. I got to cash out, but the cash out limit is $10. So you gotta. That's one of those things. Which I ain't gonna complain too much about it. You know what I'm saying? If that's something you're complaining, at the end of the day, the cash out limit. If you're someone bitching, like complaining about that, you done bad. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You use your bread up and stuff like that, because obviously you want the money now. But you know, if it's one of those things where you're just giving just you just want to talk about the survey or whatever and stuff like that, you're not gonna mind that. But yeah, for those of us who are doing some popping or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, we gotta talk to the developer who promised, because they ain't got nothing to do about whether you're doing well or not. You promised, if that promise don't deliver, these individuals, I know that other influencer got upset when Coffeezilla called them out for the NFTs or whatever. I don't know the details in that. I remember looking into that whole thing, because it was so entertaining actually to see them go at it. And lawsuits and stuff like that. It's wild, man. That's what I'm saying, is like, you know what I'm saying? We just want to do this peaceful. Like, hey man, let's just shake on it, let's just get things right. Let's get it right. Let's get that $1,000 a day, everybody. It's not for real. Yeah. And that's not delusional at all, more than fair for this call out. So that other, but you never know when it comes to, this side of things. Obviously, never once have I seen an influencer even handle that. I'm for real, I haven't seen, because it's like they kind of got the little look, because they're wealthy, they're business, so you will see from the side of they come across a little narcissistic. That doesn't mean they are, but their responses are kind of hard. Because you're going to get upset because we holding you accountable? There's no way you're getting upset. There's no way. You were getting upset. And I think I'm handling this really well. We're going about this really well, right? Where they were cussing you out, man. They were cussing you out. That's Mr. B. You're the fraud. Oh, man. I think this is the right way to go with that. But yeah, man, especially with the repeating surveys and stuff, man, that's going to do brain function stuff for you over time. But yeah, man, this one game off Just Play, which, is one of the better ones I've been doing. This is one of the gaming apps. I was making heavy progress on this thing. And one thing I do like about this app that I'll talk about with Just Play, I'm going to probably hashtag these in the description when I'm done. Because, it's reviews. I like doing reviews, man. If I ever have an experience I had an experience in McDonald's the other day. I ain't going to say what happened, because it was acting really good, man. I was blessed that day. Let me just say I was blessed that day at that McDonald's. And the location I was at, it ain't considered the best McDonald's in the Metroplex, all right? It's actually considered one of the more lower tier ones. Man, I left a 5-star heavy review, because they came through for me, you know what I'm saying? I can't speak for everyone else. With customer service and food and restaurants, stakes are much higher than money gaming apps. But time? I don't know, man, because you got people spend. Guys, you have to spend 9 hours in order to win that. So keep that in mind, because I was going the whole time, but I'm for real. I don't even want to gloat about how unintentionally resilient I am, actually. losing compensation as a progress glitch. And I was over here bringing in the time, the multipliers and stuff. This shit was gonna kick me out. And I was like, that award could have been, and it was good, man, for like an hour and a half. One thing about me, and why I'm so like giddy, I'm real giddy right now. I'm real, seems like I like talking about this. It's because, bro, I don't ever, never have I put in time like that on a phone app. I don't play phone games on my phone. I was never that person. I play maybe a little basketball shoot every now and then if you're waiting for your car to get service and stuff. But back then, you know, I do stuff like that. Shame on me, especially the past 2 years. I should have been doing stuff like that. Go figure, position. But that's the pros I can say to this, especially if you have a slow job. Yeah, man, download you some surveys, download you some money game apps, man. If you have a slow job, November 2024, I had a slow job, I could have been doing that. How come I didn't think about that? Oh wait. Yeah. It's really heavy reason, so I'm not even gonna go that hard on myself. They can sell your data too, man. I know one of the surveys was a very serious one. It was a good survey too. I ain't gonna lie. I think it was Eureka. Shout out to Eureka. I think they're a good survey. They're one of my top ones. Is Eureka. I like that one. I cashed out twice already with Eureka, so I already have $10 with Eureka, and that's not bad for only having that downloaded for a month. That's not bad. That's not bad. And then not going crazy with it, you know, switching off with them. It's good to have a variety. But yeah, they did a whole lawsuit. The whole survey was a lawsuit. It was a long one too, but it paid like $3. It was a good. I think I can't remember. It was $3. I don't even know if the surveys. It was like, yeah, it paid over the dollar threshold because you know how those surveys be 10 minutes, 65 cents. You can get lucky, maybe get a 10-minute one, 80 cents. They mix and match it sometimes, you know. But yeah, they sell your data, and you know they even notify you, like, you know, just in case you get contacted by the court about jury duty over this case. And I was like, oh golly, like, I don't really be in people's data for real. I don't want that to happen. You know, shout out to judges and stuff like that. I don't like going in court, so and stuff like that. I'd rather not be. Even if it's really good reasons, the courts are, you know, rather just settle stuff like that. That's why we gotta let me talk about that. But yeah. So, that's kind of, no, hold on, I had no cons. I had one more written down. Yeah. Okay, this is a really important one. Some of these apps, even if they do pay, they're gonna force you to make an in-game purchase. I don't like that. I don't like that. That's a con. That's a huge negative. I don't like how, you know what I'm saying? You might as well have, you know how when you go on Google Play, some apps you get like the free trial, you get like a version, and then maybe you gotta pay with your Google Pay card or whatever to get the actual version of the app, or to get the full, what's that word? The full, all the full features. You get all the full speculations and features and stuff like that, right? You might as well just do that. You're gonna make us download the app, you know, take up all that space and everything, and we can't even play the game because we have to make an in-game purchase for some card. Man, that ain't right. I didn't like that. That ain't right. And it could seem like a good, nah, man, not off in the beginning. Okay, it should be play for that, even if you gotta go heavy. Or let it be that, let it be the, you know, the player's choice. The game for the player, not you. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be making the rules for. There's always going to be rules in the game, duh. But I mean, like in terms of the, you know, the money factor, man, we download this, make money, not to lose money. And then we're not even guaranteed you're going to be able to look heavy in the those, you know. Something tells me I've been rambling on for a minute, so yeah, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna check, you know, we'll see if any of you on there real quick. See if but yeah, this is mostly like I said before, this is the real purpose and point of this, and summary of this, for those of you who may have checked in later, whatever. Those of you who have specifically, and it ain't even gotta be Mr. Beast, man. If you play some whole other thing, I don't care. I hope this motivates you to get the courage. If you got duped, if you got really got duped, extreme dupage alert, Don, dude, you got duped like a motherfucker. And that one is not good, because that means you spent time, hella time. You believed you were gonna win. They told you you were gonna win. And you paid money, you got duped like a motherfucker. Off of that. That's crazy, yo. Spending days thinking, oh, hell no. Or better yet, thinking the coins on the thing is actual money and you kind of dupe it yourself at that point. But yeah, man, just make sure to be aware of these things, you know? But yeah, those are kind of like the best apps that have been paying well for me personally right now. I know there's a lot, and hopefully I could pick and pluck off those of you who are willing to show me what apps you got too. You know what I'm saying? So let me just check and see if we got security here. Get out of his way real quick. Just finish up here right now. I'll be out of your way. And then we'll see if you guys got anything to say here real quick. Let me see. I'll flip this around. Catch me doing what? He's right here. Security's right here. He knows I'm leaving. You say get closer, you can't hear me. You can hear me, man. It's all echoing in here and everything. Give you guys like 1 minute and then I'm gonna get on out of here because y'all ain't even listening to anything I said. Not one of you even said anything about a survey.
This is not a place for it, Father.
Alrighty.
This is not a place for it.
I gotcha. I'm gonna get out of your way right now. You have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Appreciate you.
No problem.